Hey guys, welcome back this week. I know it's been a couple weeks since we jumped on here, but been kind of back and forth changing different things in our routines, and wanted to get back on this Thursday night Q&A. So we've got some plans going forward to do it every other week, so that I'm not until we can get a little more interaction and get more of you guys coming on. I can get kind of the flow of questions a little bit, and we're going to do some polls and start getting some questions asked on Facebook to get what y'all want to know and what y'all are thinking about at home. I know with COVID and everything still lingering around, there's still a lot of stuff up in the air about what what the next 3 months looks like. So if you lost a job, if your spouse lost a job and you're not sure how to handle it, give us a call. I'll give you our first consult and the free first session for free. So just let me know how I can help. I'd love to sit down. Let's make a plan for the next 3 months and help you budget for your family and keep y'all afloat in this time right now. So what I did want to do though is I did start a podcast. It's called All Around Wellness, and it's in right now. It's on Spotify and Anchor, but it's going to be posted on uh, or, sites, whatever I can't think what they're called, but anyway, it's going to be on all the other ones as well. But if you'll go check it out, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I put on as a financial coach, but it's kind of more geared towards just an all around wellness. It's more thinking or looking at fitness, looking at mental health, looking at your self image, kind of how to increase how to improve yourself through these types of things. So um, but yeah, so go on there. I'll put a link in the chat box or in the once we finish up here. But I got a couple questions. This one's going to be a little short. I've got one question on meal planning. I've got that question over and over again. And meal planning is a struggle that a lot of people have, and it's why they end up going out to eat a lot. They'll go to the store, they'll go to the grocery store, they'll buy a bunch of groceries, and then in hopes to make dinner or have some dinners at home, but then they get busy, they're not prepared to what they're going to have that night. They're are they going to do hamburgers tonight or tacos tomorrow, or they just don't know. They don't even have an idea what they can make with what they bought at the store. They have this general idea of what to go get at the store and what they normally use, but they don't know what they need, and so they end up going. They spend 150 at the store. You go 2 days later, and you're like, well, I need more groceries, and so you go spend more money, but you still have a bunch in the pantry at home. So one way for us to really help in narrowing that budget down and keep from overspending in that category is to meal plan. And so, and I'm not saying you have to be the guy on Sunday that cooks all of his meals for the week and puts it in containers and all you do is heat it up. That's not what we do. That's not realistic long term. It can be done short term to reach a certain goal, whether it's weight loss or behavior change of some sort. But ultimately, the planning for your meals is where you want or where you want to be. Now, from a free spirit to a nerd, there's different avenues that you could go. I know me personally, I'm a nerd. I'm the I want to see the details. I want it planned out as far as we can go. So there for a long time, we would do our meals, and we would plan out every single day of what we're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And for those of you that are free spirits, may think about that and go, that's way too much restriction or way too much structure, I guess. But for me, it's something that I enjoy because I know what I'm doing that day. I don't have to think about it. And that's where Kelly is too. She likes to know. She's a free spirit, and she likes to know or have options, I guess. So basically, what I've created and what we do now is kind of have a pool of of ideas for lunch, dinner, and breakfast. And so, we don't have to follow that plan so tightly, but you have these stuff dinners that you can make, and then you have the ingredients to make those dinners, and so you don't have to overspend by getting a bunch of stuff that you really don't need because you're not making anything with that. It's just something that you normally get. But ultimately, on the my meal planning sheet is on the left side. It has ideas for those lunch, dinner, breakfast, and dinner. And then on the right side, it's the day. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all the way to Sunday. And so what we do, kind of a pool. Like we start out with 7 dinners, 7 lunches, and 7 breakfasts. And at the bottom, we do snacks and other dinner ideas with what we're buying at the store, what we can make. And so what we'll do then is throughout the week, we'll go through, like say it's Monday, and we're trying to figure out what it was for dinner. Now, it does create you to have to be prepared that morning to know, can I get up, or when do I need to start preparing for dinner? And that's the thing. So do I need to thaw some meat out? Do I need to, put it in the crock pot? What time? All these types of things. And so it all depends on when you or how far you want to take it. But ultimately, we just have each day we start to discuss what we want. We look at that list and go, out of those 7 or 8 items, let's have this for tonight. And so then we'll get that stuff out and get it ready. And then tomorrow, now we've got 6 to choose from, or 6 plus some of the extras that we have down at the bottom. So at any point, there's usually 2 to 3 to 4 options that we can choose from. So we're not ever really restrained to one thing that we have to have. I've talked to some people doing this, and they're like, "Well, it's Taco Tuesday, but I don't really want tacos." And so they feel obligated if they've already planned it to have tacos that day, and they don't feel like they can switch it around or do what they want to. But ultimately, so you plan out those meals, and then you build your grocery list based on those meals. So you take all of these types of meals. Okay, what do I need to make that? What do I need to make that? And you go down that list, and then you make the grocery list on the other side, and say, okay, now I need eggs, milk, bacon. I need all of this to make everything to last me that week. And so it helps you see, like, you're only getting what you need for that week, and that includes snacks. And for us, it was like, if it wasn't on the list, we didn't get it. And then there's a point where we would say, okay, then we'll get 4 to 5, maybe 5 things that aren't on the list. And if we go over that 5 things, then we got to start to choose. Okay, what do we want this week, and what can we push off the next week? Because if you just start buying, we need that, it wasn't on the list. We need that, it wasn't on the list. Well, you're gonna start going over budget, and your weekly budget's gonna get busted. So then your monthly budget's gonna get busted as well. So that's how we do it, and it really seems to work. We stay on budget every month. We spend about $600 a month on groceries, and so roughly 100 to 150 a week. We kind of try and stay around the 120 a week, and that way we have some $20, $30 to go run and grab this, or grab some more milk, or grab some extra or whatever we need that week that we may run out of. So it just depends kind of what you're used to. But there was a time where it was 3 of us when we had our first kid, that we were eating on $35 a week during baby step 2, trying to pay off debt and get stuff taken care of that way. So so that's the whole point. Like, you get to choose: are you paying $600 a week or $600 a month on groceries, or can you afford $600? Do you need to do $400? Do you need to do $300? Whatever that looks like. So and again, it also kind of depends on your fitness or your fitness plan. Are you trying to do a diet? Are you trying to eat healthy? Are you trying to eat certain ways? All the diets that are out there, they may cost more money here and more money there because of the certain foods. And so you got to look at all that and how that plays into your budget. But I'm not using a credit card just because I want to go on a diet. I've got to cut something else out so that I can meet these requirements and these requirements at the same time. So, and then you plan out your grocery budget based on those meals, so that you're only getting what you need for those meals and those meals only. Then you've got the food for the week. You don't have to worry about it. You're not going to the store 17 times just to get a little bit for dinner tonight and a little bit for dinner tomorrow, and because that that little charges add up. If you start to spend $25 to $35, every time you go to the grocery store, you do that 3 times a week. That you're already at 120, and then that was for 3 meals, and so you're not focused, you're not intentional. So just the same as you're being intentional about your budget, about your money, be intentional about your groceries, about your meal planning. And it doesn't have to be a restraint. The same as a budget. You get to tell yourself and your family what you're going to eat, what you're going to do. It's really good for your kids to have those boundaries. Like we can have, they each get one snack at the grocery store each week. And so, or we get one big snack for all of them. So there's that, that mindset that they know that they have to, like there's a restriction at some level. We can't just buy whatever we want. And so we're trying to teach them that part of it as well in the moment. So when they ask, hey, why can't we get all of this stuff? And so we get to go through that and have that discussion. So it's been really good. But I've got my meal planning worksheet that I have that I'll post a link to, and we can kind of get that out there to you. Would like to use it to help you kind of budget for meals. Anyway, so that kind of answers that question. I'll put it this way: we have 2 categories. We have a miscellaneous line item in our budget, and we have a miscellaneous category. So our miscellaneous category has things that we've been able to plan for the next month. So coming up in September, we have, whether it's Labor Day travels or anything you're doing extra this month, birthdays, anniversary cards, anything you're trying to do that in that regard with friends or family or anything like that. You've got those things that you can plan for, or things that you need around the house. Maybe you need another, or maybe you need a part for the lawnmower because it's midsummer and trying to get things mowed and whatnot. And maybe your lawnmower broke and you're really needing to get it fixed. But so you can put that in for the next month's budget so that you don't bust. So you want to be able to make a list throughout the month of August. You're making a list of what you could potentially need in September, or what you maybe you didn't put in the budget in August, but you really want to have, and so you can put it in the month of September if it's not an emergency. And 9 times out of 10, most things are not emergencies. So you can make that. You have to make that delineation and say, okay, is it an emergency? Do I need to make it happen, or can it wait 2 weeks until we get into September and I can? And that's usually the big push or the big struggle that people have, is trying to make that decision of, okay, yeah, I really need it or want it, but I don't need it now. I can wait 2 weeks. It's not a big deal. It won't hurt me. If your vacuum breaks and you need another one, but it wasn't in the budget, wait 2 weeks, wait 3 weeks, and buy another one. Do whatever you got to do to make it work in the meantime, so you keep things clean or whatever. But don't bust your budget just because of a few mishaps in that regard. Now, again, that's your miscellaneous category where you have all these different things lined out that you can. All these different things that you have lined out that you can budget for in September. And so we go back to the other one, which was the miscellaneous line item. And so basically it's just amount of money that we set aside in that month, saying we don't know what we're going to need this for. And so miscellaneous meaning we don't know. The other miscellaneous category was, yeah, it's miscellaneous, just kind of oddball stuff. It is something we know that we're going to need or we want to budget for, but it's just kind of an oddball list. Where this category, this line item over here is just a catch-all, like anything that we didn't or we weren't expecting to need in the month of August or September, whichever budget you're on. But so say we're closing in on September, and there was something that I needed that I didn't put in the budget of August, and I need tomorrow. Well, that's where that money would come from, is in that miscellaneous line item. So maybe it's $200 in there, and over the course of the month, you have 3 or 4 items that you didn't plan for, that you want. Say it's the vacuum. Go back to the vacuum, and if you have $200 in there for miscellaneous stuff or unexpected items, and you have an issue with the um, you have an issue with the vacuum and you really just want to get it done. Maybe you have a party coming up this weekend and you want to clean, and so it's kind of more of a need than you really than it has to be. And so you're like, well, we have some money in the miscellaneous fund. Let's use that to buy the vacuum. And so that's what that's for. But the key is, when that's gone, you've got to say, okay, I can't do anything else. I got to wait till next month. And so maybe next month you put 250 in there instead of 200 because you ran out 2 weeks into the month. Or if it's things that if you're putting common things in that miscellaneous category that you're spending monthly on, instead of, or that line item, like the unexpected stuff, and there's something that's unexpected every month, whether it's birthday cards or whatever, then start a line item over here in the miscellaneous category, the oddball category, and say, okay, we're going to put $20 or $30 a month for birthdays. And so if you don't use it one month, then you've got an extra $20 or $30 to put somewhere else. You want to detail as much out as you possibly can. Like, I mean, we detail. I mix it in with the groceries, because then I'll spend $60 on coffee, or I'll go over budget on the coffee side, and then it takes away from money on groceries, on food and it kind of throws everything off in that regard. Yes, I spend a lot of money, or I spend a lot of money. Yes, I drink a lot of coffee, and so I can go over budget in that regard. So, and it's all home. I don't go out to Starbucks or whatever all the time. So, but I do drink a lot of coffee. So, but again, that's the idea behind the budgeting for unexpected expenses. The key is to separating those and try and detail as much out in that budget as possible. We've got a couple things coming out that I wanted to mention before we jumped off today, but again, the podcast, All Around Wellness, I'll put some links in the notes and stuff for y'all to get a hold of it. But a couple other things. I want to know, or I want to see your budget. I want to find those people out there that you're struggling, or maybe you're not. You think you've got it figured out, and maybe you're prideful to the point that you think you have it figured out. And I'm saying I can prove to you that I can find extra money in your budget without having to go to your boss and ask for a raise. So if you think you have that, you think you have a budget that's tight, that's well planned out and stuff, send it to me. I want to do a budget review, no charge, no nothing. I just want to do a budget review, having to go to your boss for a raise. I mean, think about what would an extra $200 or $500 do to your budget, and paying off debt, and kind of getting back to square one with those things. So just think about that. If you're that person, get in touch with me. Send me your budget. Let's get that started. I'd love to review it and kind of give you an idea of what I can do for you. With that, I think that was it. So for those of you that want to kind of jump in and get involved, like send me some questions that you've got that you're either struggling with or you want to know about. Let's talk about it. Let's see how we can help you get your budget on track to a better actual foundation. Anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Thanks. guys. Welcome back this week. I know it's been a couple weeks since we kind of jumped on here, but been kind of